Okay, so today I'm doing something a little unusual in that I'm using heat fusible fabric. This is stuff they sell for rapid hems. But what I've decided to do is, because to put the zipper into this, what has to happen is I can sew the zipper on one side, but then I'm left with an edge here which is going to be extremely awkward to attach. So what I'm going to do is use this. I could use glue, I could use all sorts of things, but just to fuse it perfectly at 1/2 inch seam, so when I join the two together I can just sew and it'll be very straightforward. That just will be nice and easy for me, so I'm going to use that, and now I shall demonstrate doing this. Glue. So I'm going to get my works. So I'm just going to get my measure out to make sure I do it exactly at 1/2. And yes, you can use a Pritt stick, a glue stick as well. They work. But this works just fine as well. Clearly one of the important things is to make sure that none of the fusible interfacing gets on the iron. That's just not going to be a good experience. Need some more. Right at the end here. So. Okay. Perfect. So you can see now when I stitch the zipper in, I've got that lovely edge for the reverse side to make it nice and neat. So let's do the second side, same process. So you can see here I fitted a zip foot. And this is the type which has the screw in the back, so it's adjustable on both sides, very simple to use. It's nice and tight. Pull the threads through. Okay. So this being a men's jacket, the zipper pull is on the left. So I'll move it up to the top to get it out of the way. And what you have to realize is you sew it upside down, or the wrong way around to how you imagine. So the reality is we want to do this 1/2 inch from the edge. And so we would put it in place like that, put a pin just to hold it. And then the rest will be very simple because it'll just stay in place. I'm just going to put that there. So this part is just a matter of sewing. So let's just double check that nothing is shifted. So the first go over, I'm going to sew it at less than 5/8, and the second one I will do it at 5/8, I think. Or 4/8, what am I saying, 1/2 inch, so I'm doing it slightly less. Secure things in place, increase the foot pressure, pull up the pin. Okay, off we go. So this zip is actually too long. I bought one that would fit me normally, but actually in this case this jacket is very short. So I should have made it 12 first and then lengthened it by about 6 inches. So it's going to be a short sort of 1980s bomber jacket. Doesn't thrill me that much, so I will make a new one. But I wanted to finish this project. So I will need to put stays in the top when I get to the end. Just so it doesn't skid anywhere. And I will just do the reverse stitching to secure it in place. So that's good. Done. Okay, so then what happens is you flip it over this way, and that's why, zoom back out. Okay, and that's why this becomes so important, because what happens is you have to now lay this on here and then stitch over the top perfectly without making a complete mess. So we will use the fusible interfacing again and do the extra stitching so you get a good result. But first, what I want to do is see that works perfectly. So I want to snip this once I figure out where. Snipped. So I need to put a stay to keep the zip from going off the end now. You can just zigzag over the top. There's lots of different ways of doing it, but that has to be done to prevent the zipper from escaping. Okay. So now we'll do the other side. So because we're on the other side, we have to sew a little differently, like this. Okay, and we should try to sew from the bottom to the top again to keep any creeping from happening. So I'll put a pin in there, and now I need to reverse the zipper foot around. Although the easiest way really is just to sew it the wrong way. Okay. So I need to reverse all of the settings so that I can sew on this side of the zipper with the 1/2 inch. So one moment and I'll switch everything around. So here we do the switch, and there's a 1/2. Okay. Oops. There we are. Okay, and off we go. like to move this over just a tidgy bit. Got a little overzealous there. Done. So now same deal as before, all stitched in there. Need to trim these little threads down here because they're not good. Don't want them getting in the zip later on. Little snip at the top. There we go. Perfect. So the final step is to lay this all in place, get the seam allowances inside, make sure the teeth and everything are clear, and then stitch. So I shall begin that preparation. So we're at the final hurdle now, and I have made these little strips, which will just enable me to secure the lining effectively in place so that I can do the final stitching. and have it look basically perfect, which is ultimately what you want. So what you can see is if you try to hold this and sew it, it's going to be a little difficult. So what I want to do is to use the fusible hemming here to just hold it in place so it's much easier for me when I come to stitch it. Just prevents it from skidding. Okay, we're at the final stage. You can see that the lining has been stuck in place, and now it's just a matter of stitching this last bit right on the edge. Just make sure this is even the whole way. Perfect. So the most important part is how it looks on the front, and as you can see it's just invisible, which is what we want. and it's perfectly even on the front. Just do some snipping of the threads. And on the inside there's just a little bit of an edge stitch. So we'll do the other side. Perfect. Okay. Snip, and then we'll trim these little threadlies up here. And voila, one bomber jacket. All done.